This is another movie I wanted to do as well because I remember watching this movie. I think I watched it last year, and I like decided to just talk about this because this is a movie that has existed and it is so stupid and so fun. A fun bad movie. And the concept and the writing is so bad it makes me laugh. And this is a public domain as well, so they get to do whatever they want with this. So that's just pretty much what I'm going to be doing today. I'm just going to be reviewing this movie, my thoughts and opinion on this. I'm going to just talk over it and tell you guys the story of the Lochness Horror. By the way, the name is it's very boring. It's not very creative, and I hope you guys enjoy this video because this is a video that I've actually wanted to make and talk about because of how stupid it is. So I hope you guys enjoy. The story begins with a submarine, which is hard to tell because it's so dark. This movie is very pitch black, so I apologize for the lighting. I have tried to work on fixing the lighting, but I've turned my brightness up, so I don't know what else to do. We have 2 crew members on board the submarine. They're looking for the Loch Ness Monster, and they see that she has escaped and she's heading to the North Sea, and she's just swimming around. It disappears, and then a red alarm rings just to tell them that it's coming towards them. This monster hits their submarine. The Loch Ness Monster attacks their ship, and they're under attack, and they're screaming and that, and the Loch Ness Monster grabs their ship and it drags them all the way to the bottom of the ocean, and then it just explodes. Then we cut to the title of the movie, The Lochness Horror. Yay, let's get on with it. We cut to an office where there are a bunch of people talking about the submarine from the beginning that has been missing for 48 hours, and they want to know what happened, and they want people to bring back a full report on how the ship crashed, or if they're alive or not. They basically just go on about where the fuck is the ship gone. It's been gone for 48 hours. We need to know what happened to the 2 crews on board. We cut to a scene where they're on a ferry and they've hired some people to go on this sort of rescue ship, they call it, when it's not a rescue ship. And they want to find out what happened to the 2 people on board. And I recognise one of them. That's the girl who got her top stripped that I blurred out because I didn't want to get in trouble. But yeah, she's on this trip as well. And they talk for a while, and they are given instructions on what to do. And yeah, they just discuss about what happened with the 2 people on the submarine and how their submarine just disappeared and never returned. One of the crew members is seasick, and he came on the boat because I don't know why he came on the boat if he's seasick, but he says he gets nervous when he's on missions like this, but he's given tablets to help him get through this. This guy, he is watching something and guessing the Loch Ness Monster, but then he hears screaming on the radio, on some sort of radio, but he doesn't tell anybody. He just hears it, and then he's just shocked. I mean, it's better just to tell somebody than to tell someone last minute. We have the next scene where the Russian girl is showing the 2 people the device that senses something unexpected, and it takes them to an exact point and basically shows them that it can detect something unaware. We cut to this next scene. Inside the ship, you can see that one of the girls is on the laptop. She goes on it, and then she hears 2 people screaming, possibly the ones from the in the beginning, and they're under attack by the Loch Ness Monster. 2 people are outside just talking. about if they're worried about this mission. One of them says like there is like some level of danger involved and that we need to be prepared. A suicide mission that they got themselves into, and this was very predictable. Too predictable. Saw the ferry, I was like, this is just gonna be a suicide mission. One of the girls overhears this. The girl with the red hair gets caught by the guy, and she tries to like play it cool, saying like she was just like, you know, like I was just trying to like, you know, charge it and stuff, but it doesn't fucking work. And he wants to know why she was like on his computer, like he's wondering why she's just snooping around. And then he does like a complete 180 and then pulls a gun on her. Then she hits him with a heavy object and she manages to like get away from him and tries to shoot her, but he misses, and yeah, he sucks at aiming. She calls for help on a phone and she just basically tells him like that there's like a crazy guy just is just after her with a gun, and they hear this and they go after her like to help her. She gets caught by him and he's like telling her to put the phone down otherwise he'll shoot her. The other 3 people are also have guns. It turns out they want to track the creature down and they want to discover it. And the reason for this? Well, that's easy. History. That's what the guy says. He says history is the reason why they want to find this shit. The other crew want to know what the fuck's going on and like why they've been like brought in like a suicidal mission. And like they're just not given a good reason. Like they're just saying that they want to like find this thing for like no reason other than history. The guy sees the Loch Ness monster at a far distance and then he like goes down into the boat and then like prepares to shoot it. And we see like a first glance of like what the Loch Ness monster actually looks like. He orders one of the girls to like go down and like fend this Loch Ness monster on her own. And I'm like, why? Why? He's like, I couldn't give a shit. Just go there. Just risk your life. Just risk your life. I don't give a shit. She has no choice but to go down and fend this creature. Like, she doesn't even know what she's getting herself into. So it like turns out that the reason why she's like getting ordered to go is to like check the wreckage, and like the dude is like also going down with her as well. Like he's gonna be in a pod to fight this creature. He's gonna be like packed with like torpedoes. So he's gonna use a torpedo to fend a Loch Ness monster that is a myth. Into the pod, ready to defeat the Loch Ness monster that everybody is shit scared of. The girl is also in the cage as well, waiting for the Loch Ness monster to approach her. The crew argues because like they pretty much like sent like the girl on her own to fend off this creature, which is like suicidal. Like the Loch Ness monster is near, and this like poor girl is like used as bait because like she doesn't even know why she's even in the cage in the first place. Like she thought she was going to a rescue mission. The monster ends up eating her, and it's so hard to even see the monster since it's really, really dark, but you can tell that she gets eaten because like he gets in the cage and then the shit like sort of like is under attack by this Loch Ness monster. The man in the pod's like, damn it! He tells the others that the girl in the cage has been killed by the Loch Ness monster and that he's stuck and he can't get out because the Loch Ness monster will get him because he's surrounded by the Loch Ness monster. The other girl tries to like find signal and the Loch Ness monster is like right behind her and she screams and everyone hears this. The Loch Ness monster ends up like killing one of the crew by eating him as he like is the last to run. And then the crew sees this and then the Loch Ness monster like spits out some black shit on this guy's face. The hell that is, I do not know. Yeah, I don't know what like caused him to get infected and everything. Like, he's like got black stuff in his eyes and mouth, and he's like spitting out foam in his mouth, and I don't know what the creature did to him, but he's somehow infected. Like, I don't know. If you guys know, let me know in the comments, because I don't flipping know what is happening to him. The guy in the pod is like still like chilling. He's waiting for like the Loch Ness monster to piss off because he can't like get out. But then he gets like signal from one of like the girls, and he like tells her like, I can't get out because the Loch Ness monster is like the area that I'm in, so there's no way of getting back up, and that they need like a distraction. And I just realized that he has like bombs and that he could use, so I don't know why he doesn't use it. He's still infected and he's still spitting out shit. Oh, he's also spitting out tomato ketchup as well out of his mouth. Ew, gross. And then something happens to him, like something's in his back, and then it grows inside of his back, and then he dies. Like, something like is growing inside of him and he dies, and I am really confused. RIP to this guy who I have no idea who his name is and I couldn't give a shit. Let's put a lovely funeral song for him, since he died from an infection that is completely unexplained. Honestly, do you guys care at this point? I don't flipping care. I don't even know his name, and yeah, I couldn't give a shit. Anyway, where am I at? Let me just check where I am in my notes. Then something grows inside of his back, and I'm like, ew, what is that? Like, ugh. Like, it grows inside of him, and it comes out, and it's like this tiny little spider thing, and it chases the girl. This girl also gets like eaten too as well by the Loch Ness monster. She like points a gun at it, and she like says something. I can't remember what she says, but she like says like, it's over or something. I don't know, it was a rubbish line. Meanwhile, in the pod, the guy's still chilling, waiting for it to piss off, but then it comes towards him and then it grabs onto his pod, like trying to like destroy it, and he's like struggling to like get it off him. So she's still running away from that little spider thing that is chasing her, and she's got blood on all over her face. That's the spider that she's running away from when she can just step on it with her own foot. Then she come across to this guy, and she explains to him what happened to the dude, and she like tells him how he's been killed by that tiny creature that came out of that guy's back. This girl also sees the creature as well, and she runs away as well. She doesn't actually run, she hides, but the place she hides is so obvious. It's great hiding space, by the way. They find her because she's like screaming the place down, and they see the little creature. Again, they could just like hit it with like a baseball bat or something. Like, it's not even that intimidating. Maybe because it has like sharp claws or something. The guy in the pod calls them, and he tells them that his oxygen levels are really low, and that he is pretty much gonna die, because he's pretty much fucked, because the Loch Ness monster is surrounding him, and he has like no way to get back up without being spotted. And he's basically telling them and that he hasn't got long left till his oxygen levels run out. So I don't know what he's gonna do for like the next 40 minutes of this movie. The red-haired girl explains that the black like doo-doo came out of that creature's mouth and spat on the dude, got into the guy's system, and that the creature was bred and harvested inside of him, and it grew, and it came out of this guy's body and ate him from the inside out. And I was thinking to myself, does that make any sense? Oh no. Because it's highly unlikely that parasites can invade and reproduce inside host. Something large enough to grow and consume and emerge from a human body defines biological possibility. Also, creature growing inside of a human and eating them from the inside out is unrealistic. And parasites work gradually since the human body can't support such growth and survival, so I'm more confused about how that creature got into his system in the first place, because we didn't see the guy get bitten or anything. He just got spat on by a fucking Loch Ness monster, and that parasite would grow inside of him since the Loch Ness monster is based on a myth, so I don't get it. Let's just assume that this movie is based on a fictional sci-fi, like it's just a made-up story, I think, which it is. She tells them that the Loch Ness monster is causing this, and they think that this is stupid, which it is stupid. Said the exact same thing I said, which is a myth/legend. They decide to talk about how to defeat this Loch Ness monster and what they should use, which is the bombs I mentioned before that the guy has in the pod that isn't using it. Don't know why he's not using it. I have no idea why he isn't using those bombs. They prepare to escape, but the little creature is still on the loose, and they decide to split up and try to get the boat working, but by doing that they need to get past the creature. They make a plan, they run. One of them stays behind and shoots it, but I'm like, it's not worth it, just run. They split up and decide to get the power working, because the power has literally been fucked. The red-haired girl gets the power to work, and she manages to do that, which they could have done ages ago. So she gets the power working, and she's about to leave, but then she sees the creature has emerged from underground, and she just kind of stands there. She's on the walkie-talkie, she's talking to the other dude, and the little creature comes and just kills her. Why did you sit down? You could have just ran. You had the power back on, but you just decided to just sit down. Who cares? Anyway, she dies. We're literally almost towards the end of the film. Back to the scene in the pod again. So the guy decides that, oh, I brought you into this mess and now I'm going to get you out of this, to sacrifice himself by driving his pod into the Loch Ness monster, and the Loch Ness monster grabs it and he dies. I'm guessing that the reason why they killed him off was because the movie was ending. We only had about 3 minutes left. I'm guessing they wanted to just kill him. It's the most pointless sacrifice I've ever fucking seen in a movie. It reminds me of on Skull Island, where that guy, he was holding the bomb and he wanted to sacrifice himself, but then he getting hit by the monster and then accidentally blowing himself up. And that's what this scene reminded me of. It reminded me of that scene because it was so pointless. And they both had a similar motive where they wanted to go up to the creature and kill themselves to save the others. Loch Ness monster is finally defeated after a pointless sacrifice made by this idiot. On top of the boat, and they are happy that the creature is destroyed and that they can go home, even though they're in the middle of fucking nowhere in Scotland. And they're about to leave, but then the creature comes up and then presumably kills them, I think. I say presumably because the movie ends. Literally, I'm not even kidding, it actually ended. We are left in a cliffhanger, sort of. I wouldn't really call it a cliffhanger, I'd probably call it an ending. Which, let's just assume they're dead. So, the ending is, they died. That's the end, guys. That's Lochness Horror for you guys. So, on to the positives for this. So what's my opinion of this? To me, I think the lighting inside the boat and the boat itself is pretty alright. Like, I like the red light in there. I like the settings. Like, I like the equipment and the stuff they have inside of it. The interior looks amazing. Like, they didn't like bring out like a green screen boat or like a CGI boat. That's good. They actually have like an actual boat. The red hair girl, she was alright. She was kind of alright. I just didn't like her I didn't like her dialogue when she explained how that creature got inside of that man's body from a Loch Ness monster, particularly. Wow. It's kind of hard to tell who's the main character in this movie, because at first I thought it was the girl, and then a second thought, so I was like, maybe it's the guy, but then I think it's the couple. By the way, they're a couple. I just didn't mention it before because I didn't really care. But yeah, I think those two, I think they are like the only characters I like. Only two characters I like. The other characters, like for instance, like the bad guys. You know what? Speaking of bad guys, let's go on to the negatives. So the negatives of this movie is, as I said, the bad guys. So the trio, I'm gonna call them. Well, the girl, she isn't exactly that intimidating. She's probably the least intimidating, like, antagonist. Like, she doesn't really seem like she could be, like, a bad person. Like, I think she's just, like, going along with their, like, sketchy plan to find this Loch Ness monster. The guy who got infected didn't know his name, didn't give a shit, and also he is stupid. As for the guy in the pod, he was just probably the idiotic one of them all, because sacrifice was pointless, and I was like, well then, he's dead. I'm guessing because the movie was about to be over, so they wanted to kill him off. But yeah, he wasn't... Yeah, he was stupid as well. To be honest, all three of them were stupid. Like, they wanted to go and, like, look for a creature that is based on a myth. This was supposed to be a rescue mission, but it turned out to be something that they wanted to, like, get. Like, they wanted to, like, see because of history, they call it. It's such a bad reason. Like, it doesn't make any sense. The Loch Ness monster. It's kind of hard to see really what it actually kind of looks like a little bit because of the lighting, because of how dark it is. Monster is supposed to be a legend, but they kind of wanted to make it non-fiction, which, like, why? I didn't expect the Loch Ness monster to infect somebody. That kind of caught me off guard. I was thinking, what the hell? I was expecting them to just use a submarine to find the wreckage, because how the hell are you going to identify, like, the submarine and their bodies if you ever find one? If you're above the ocean in the middle of nowhere. So, I don't get it. I have like a million questions behind this movie, but I ain't gonna waste your time because I can't be bothered. But anyway, if you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe. See you guys soon. See ya.